Hi, Isabel here from 22 Way Nordbay. For today's tutorial, I wanted to show some fun animal-like walks and also to explore the concept of playing. Because I think that for a lot of us, when we think of physical activity or exercise, we think of it as a workout or a task or something that we have to force ourselves to do because it doesn't feel, I guess, natural for us to move anymore. And if you think about it, it's probably completely opposite to how you felt when you were a kid, when you didn't want to sit down. So I think a big part of the reason why a lot of adults feel this way, it's because we forgot how to play. Or we think of exercise as something that has to be done a certain way, otherwise it's not even worth doing. Or we stress ourselves with certain training regimes. Or we're afraid of injury, or we're afraid of failure. So if we can't do a movement perfectly, then we feel like it's not even worth trying. And we didn't have all those mental barriers when we were kids, and this is why we were able to develop so many new skills in a short amount of time. So I think that in order to sort of start to let go of those mental barriers, it's important to allow ourselves some time every day, if possible, to just move and have fun moving, just to explore movements and try new things. And don't think about it as a workout. Just think about it as something that you do as part of your day. And so the movements I'm going to show today are something that you can do in your own home. Obviously, you don't need a lot of space. You can do it in your living room. You can do it in your backyard when the weather gets better, and you don't just need a few meters of free space in front of you. And you can definitely get the whole family involved. You can get the kids involved. I'm sure they're going to be thrilled to try new things, as they always are. And just let yourself go. Let your body go. Just see how far you can go in the movements. I'm not going to give you a specific number of sets or reps. I'm just going to give you ideas of new ways of how you can move your body, and don't limit yourself to those either. Just go for it and explore how your body can move. Have fun. The first movement we're going to try is called the bear crawl. You're going to get on your hands and feet about hip width distance, and you're going to move your right arm forward as you move your left leg forward, and then move your left arm forward as you move your right leg forward, alternating between the opposite leg and arm. Now, if you're really tight in your hamstrings, it's completely fine to bend your knees and even lift your heels off the floor. If you can keep your legs straight, do so. It's a really good stretch at the same time. And there's really no right or wrong way to do this. You can go faster if you get the coordination. You can. I'm doing the variation with the butt in the air, but you can have your butt lower as well. You can even add a little bounce to it. Um, just have fun exploring the movement. See what feels good for you. And here, speeding it up with the bounce. Just exploring. The second movement we're going to try works off of the first movement. I like to call this one the Komodo dragon. So you're lifting your opposite leg and arm, trying to stabilize your body in this position. Now start slow, and then when you get better at it, you can try to add a little bit of plyo, so adding a little bounce and see if you're able to maintain that balance. Then you can even add some speed to it. Or another challenge is to try to maintain it for longer. So trying to lift your opposite leg and arm and stay there for about 5 seconds before you switch. There's lots of different ways to do this walk. Just have fun with it, explore the movement. Don't think about it in terms of sets and reps. Just move. The third movement, I call it the lizard walk. This one is a little bit trickier, so I definitely recommend that you try the first two movements before you try this one. You're going to try to bring your knee towards your elbow of the same side. Past your elbow if you can. Works on your hip mobility as well. And then you're going to perform sort of a staggered push up. When you get better at this, you can even add a hop. So hop in the air and then try to absorb as you go down into your push up. Another fun way to do this or to challenge yourself is to try to keep your hips as low as possible. call this one the hunting lizard. And then ramp it up a little bit and see if you can speed it up. You can even have a race with the rest of the family, the lizard race or something. You can crawl on your elbows. There's lots of different ways to do this, so just have fun and explore it. This one's my favorite. It's called the monkey. So place your hands on the ground, spread out your fingers, and try to lift your hips over your shoulders as you transfer your weight to the other side. And then you can switch sides. You can try to lift your hips a little bit higher. You don't have to come into a full squat position if hip mobility is an issue. And it doesn't really matter if your heels stay on the ground or not. There is no right or wrong way to do this. As you get better at it, you can try to spend more time in the air. So keeping your hips in the air for longer. And then you can even extend your legs a bit more. Just explore where you can go. The next one is the toad walk. So for this one, you're going to step your hands forward and then jump your feet towards your hands. If you're really tight in your hips, it's okay to keep your hips higher or to keep your heels off the ground if you're really tight in your ankles. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can come to a full squat if mobility is not an issue. And you can challenge yourself by jumping your feet towards your hands closer and closer. Another good way to challenge yourself is to try to lift your hips higher and see if you can even spend more time on your hands, trying to bring your hips over your shoulders and see if you can even balance on your hands for a few seconds. Oops, I went a little too far here, but that's all part of the fun. The last movement we're going to try is called the crab walk. So for this one, you're going to be on your hands and feet, body facing up, and you're going to move your opposite leg and foot. It's quite a bit of a coordination challenge. Now you can switch direction just like a crab would. Trying to keep your arms straight, you can squeeze your glutes a bit more, working on that posterior chain, trying to really push those hips up and open up your chest. You can also do the crab walk backwards, which is a little easier, I find, but it's good to explore both directions. And again, you can have fun with it. You can speed it up when you get better at it. And you can even have crab walk races with the rest of the family. There's lots of ways you can play with these movements. So I hope you have fun with those animal walk variations. Move every day and don't limit yourself to specific exercises.